Last night I went to see the new Evil Dead Burn, and that shit was pretty good. Now, just a quick run through of the plot. We start out at the lake from Evil Dead Rise. We see Jessica from the previous movie. She comes and attacks some fishermen after the Kandarian dagger was uncovered. The Deadites are drawn to the Kandarian dagger because they want to destroy it, because it's the one thing that can end them. So when the grandson of, I believe, the guy from the 2013 Evil Dead, the grandfather, when the grandson of him unearths the dagger, it pulls Jessica out to murder some dudes and then come find the dagger, that is. And then we go to this guy's birthday party. I'm bad at remembering the names, so just fair warning. We go to this guy's birthday party. His brother and his wife get into a fight because he's abusive and horrible. He drunk drives, hits Jessica, and the possession transfers to him, but then we don't see him for like a long time. The Deadites, they go to his funeral, and at the funeral, the possession also gets transferred to their dad. And then we go to a house that one of the sons has been living in. That's where the Kandarian dagger is. And then that's when all the shit starts to happen. And yeah, it's not gonna go like step for step in the plot, but that's the basic summary. And it was good. It's very violent. A lot of people are saying that this is definitely the meanest one, and I can see that. I agree. I mean, again, I already said spoiler warning. So, I mean, there's a scene where he murders the dog on screen, which is crazy. I didn't want to see that. There's a post-credits scene where I can't remember her name, but the mother from the last movie comes back and murders a child graphically on screen, which is something you really don't see a lot. That's probably why they saved it for the post-credits scene. Not a fan of seeing child murder on screen, but that's not the worst thing to me that happens in this movie as far as like things that I didn't like. The gore is just on par with the 2013 one and Evil Dead Rise. So that's what you come to expect. That's what you're going to get. The tone is pretty similar. The biggest complaint for me is it felt the least like an Evil Dead movie to me out of all the movies. And I think that comes down really to just like there was comedy in the movie, but the Deadites themselves weren't really the ones doing the comedy. And that's where it kind of disconnected for me a little bit. It just seemed like, this is a weird sadistic thing to say, but it seemed like the Deadites just weren't having enough fun when they were being all evil. And I mean, it kind of makes sense because they have more of a goal in this one, like they're trying to get the dagger, but I think they're just better when the Deadites are having fun. Like, some people don't like the slapstick comedy. That's what created Evil Dead, though. So that's on par. But this didn't really have that, and that's not necessarily a problem for me. But I think that the Deadites did just feel a little different than the last ones. And I've seen some people saying that they seem more powerful. To me, they kind of seemed less powerful. They just seemed more like they were just people that looked funny, mostly. I mean, to an extent. Because, I mean, there is the part where the dad who becomes a Deadite shoots himself in the head like 3 times, and then he is barely even phased. But as far as like the fighting people and stuff, it seemed a lot more evenly matched when they were fighting, which just seemed kind of odd to me. But little nitpick stuff, it doesn't really matter that much. I still enjoyed the movie. I think that all the characters were kind of dicks. They kind of sucked. That's on purpose. So I'm not saying that as like a criticism or anything. Like, I think they made them all shitty people on purpose. So it was not the worst to watch most of them die, which that sounds pretty fucked up to say, but that's the nature of being a fan of horror movies. That's about the summary of my thoughts. I just wanted to make a short video on this to try and get back into the groove of things, because we used to do It Came From the Bargain Bin. We kind of took a very long hiatus from that, and we planned a format change where we're going to do, shorter versions of basically the same thing, and we just haven't really got to do that yet. So this is kind of my way of slowly easing into that and going back to that. And it is going to continue. I plan to do, I know I'm a little late to the game, but I plan to do one on Obsession and one on the Backrooms movie. I've just, legally or illegally, who's to say, obtained copies of those to watch. So I'm going to try to make a episode in quotes on those very soon and get back into the groove of releasing It Came From the Bargain Bin in the new direction and style. I don't know if I'll actually list this as an episode, because this is more of just a on the spot, wanted to talk about the movie kind of thing, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. Go watch the movie.